Let's head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason.
Hi, Dave. Howard from Marin County. Just wanted to register a couple thoughts. I'm really, really happy that the Browns won, and I believe that the Browns are really a 500 team. So if you subtract out the era of Deshaun Watson, they're now at a 500, 2-2 with Jameis Winston. So I think that Coach Stefanski has sewed up for next year. I think they should keep him. I think they should, keep him long term. I'm not sure about Andrew Berry. You got to have someone new for picking the players in the draft. I do think the acquisition of Jerry Jeudy was a good move. So right now, I think the Browns, with a good quarterback or even an average quarterback, are a 500 team. Great show, and I'm really happy that the Browns have won. Bye.
As always, appreciate all of the voicemails. Jubush, I get it. You really have to think about what this roster looks like. Do they get old? And the question becomes, you got to be ahead. How are you not ahead of that? They were behind. You're behind the offensive line injuries. That's a problem. You're behind the age of the offensive line. That's a problem. You tried to switch the offense. That's a problem.
So you go back a couple of years. Remember, there was the running joke was they didn't need defensive linemen, right? You could get guys. Up front that you missed on guys like Malik McDowell, who he had some issues. Perrion Winfrey had issues. Siaki Ika's younger guy, Tommy Togiai, some of these guys, linebackers. You did hit on JOK, but again, you've been going with more of veteran guys in the middle, whether it be BJ Goodson or Anthony Walker. Now it's more of a Jordan Hicks situation. You've been trying to find a edge rusher to go with Myles Garrett. You start all the way back to Olivier Vernon, and then you had Emmanuel Ogbah. They thought they had something, and Jadeveon Clowney didn't turn out well, and then you had Zadarius Smith, who you traded away. So there's a lot of different positions where I could say that he has not hit on, and receiver one has been his Achilles heel. You look at what you did with Anthony Schwartz. You look at with David Bell. Cedric Tillman looks like he might be a viable receiver, but it's a difference between being viable and a home run hitter. It's a difference between being a guy who can just move the chains. We have yet to see an explosive guy where you're like, oh, that's one of those guys, one of Brian Thomas Jr. or Malik Neighbors or any of those guys. So you got to ask yourself, are you comfortable with having Andrew Berry taking these players, given the fact that he took Jed Wills at 10? That is. Listen, not only did you take Jed Wills at 10, Jed Wills would have just been okay being bad on the field, but he compounded the issue by not playing to the whistle, not knowing what his assignments are, and now you're questioning whether or not he really wants to play. So now he's been inactive in the last 2 games. That's basically saying we can't play you. You've alienated a lot of people in the organization. But you got to look, Tristan Wirfs coming. He's one of the best tackles and you pick Jed Wills, who's a right tackle, and you projected him to be left. I talked to Joe Thomas. He was on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Joe Thomas says, listen, Bill Callahan was on him from day one about finishing plays and knowing what he wants, what he's supposed to do. And they couldn't get it done. And he's still doing some of the same things, standing up, looking around, not knowing. That is a very damning situation for your general manager, because you're saying to yourself, you actually evaluated that guy and you said he was one of the best 10 players in that draft.
Yeah. You can't argue that. There is no argument for that.